Hi, this is Sergey Ivanov. Before the podcast officially begins, I'd like to encourage each and every one of my listeners for the Sound of Sergey to go to the change.org petition for the Justice for George Floyd petition and make an account if you don't have one and sign the petition to help bring justice for George Floyd's murder. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Alright, hey, what's up? Sergey Ivanov, episode 3 of The Sound of Sergey. I'm back. The thing about episode 3s of anything is, the first episode, you don't know what you're doing. You're just testing out the waters. It might not even work at all, and you might just abandon after the first episode. Episode 2, you start to know what you're doing a little better. You look at the failures of episode 1, and then you compensate for that. You fix it. Episode 3, if you don't know what you're doing by episode 3, then listen, you're never going to know. I'm just telling you right now. If you don't know by the third episode, you're lost, son. Episode 3, we're in some strange, weird times. Joe Rogan said it best, we're in strange times. It's crazy. The world is going through the book of Revelation. I used to think that 2016 was the worst year that possibly ever happened. I remember there were memes. I've seen them, and I can probably show them. There were memes where it was like, all right, we just finished the unit. It's like history courses in the year 3000. It's like, all right, kids, we just finished history in the year 2015. All right, let's move on to 2017. Then some kid raises his hands. He's like, what happened in 2016? It's like, we don't talk about 2016. That used to be 2016. Now it's going to be 2020. 2020 is going to be an entire textbook. It's going to happen. 2020 is the year. Now there are some people I saw on, and it's mostly Facebook, old people or people who have clearly never read the Bible, but they say that they're Christians. You know these people. They're on Facebook all the time. They're like, well, in Revelation it says in the last days there's going to be chaos and pandemic. And it's coming right now. And it's like, listen, have you read the Bible, son? I don't think you have. Listen, is it the end of the world? I really don't think so. To say it's the end of the world is real arrogant, and it's probably not correct. I would not say that it's the end of the world right now. I used to think it was the end of the world when Corona started, but now people breaking the glass at 5 below. People rioting. It's weird. It's crazy times. It's crazy. It really is. That being said, I am in full 100% support of, equal rights. So what they're fighting for, I'm in 100% agreement with. I think police brutality has gone on for too long, and, it's time to end it. It's about time is, what I have to say. But anyway, you probably are listening to this because you want to get away from all the, what's the word? Politics. It took me that long to think of that. Welcome to episode 3 of The Sound of Sergey. 3-something days ago, I was watching YouTube and I got this ad. Old Spice is real weird with the ads. I love their ads. They've got great ads. It used to be a dude, he was half horse and they're all jacked and he's like, I'm a horse, but I smell good or something. I saw this one ad. If you can tell me what it means, I'll be delighted to know. And here's what it was. It was a man in his bathroom. He's he has a towel around his waist. He just got out of the shower, evidently. Even though he's dry, it's that's always what it is in the commercial. You're just supposed to assume that he just came out of the shower, even though on his body there's not a single drop of moisture. His hair is completely dry. So he comes out and he's sitting there and he's about to put on, Old Spice deodorant. And then I guess his wife or girlfriend, his partner comes in and she's like, hold on, what are you doing? What are you doing with that Old Spice? And he's like, I'm putting it on my body so I smell nice. She's like, no, that's for me. And he's like, what do you mean it's for you? Like, it's mine. He's like, and then the woman's like, no, it's for me. And he's like, no, it's for me. And so they literally have a game of tug of war about like, no, I want the deodorant because it's for me. It's like, no, it's for me. And the end of the commercial is like, they keep going, it's for me. No, it's for me. It's for me. And then the dude looks at the chick, and then the chick just goes, it's for me. And then the dude starts looking all afraid, like his eyes like widen, and he looks all scared. And that's the end of the commercial. That's the whole ad. It's like, and I saw another ad, it's similar to that. Like that ad, if you can tell me what that means, like I know that like the whole thing is like, it's not just for you to smell good. It's so you can appease your woman or whatever. I don't know. I don't even use Old Spice. Because actually I used it for a while. And it was great, but it totally ruins the shirts that you wear. Like, I smelled great and like everything was fine. Like, it's a good brand, but when I wore it, like I put it on and then I put on a shirt. And like within like 2 wears, like I'd wear it one day and then like a couple weeks later, I'd wear that same shirt. I'd use that same deodorant. The shirt was completely, like a black shirt would turn light gray in the armpits. After, like, you know, like a couple quick swipes on the armpit. You put on the shirt and it's just completely bleached. I don't know what it is. It ruins your shirts. So I can't use it. It's the stair lift. Just gonna wait for that to finish. This can turn into ASMR here. Hey, it's me. Sergey ASMR. No, I'm kidding. I'm recording this a lot earlier than I usually would. I'm recording this on a Tuesday. Now, normally I would record it on like Wednesday night, edit Thursday, and then it'd be uploaded Friday morning. I can't do that because I'm actually leaving tomorrow. So, or not tomorrow. Yeah, no, I'm leaving on Thursday. Yeah, that's how slow I am in the brain. I'm leaving on Thursday. And so, yes, Bridget, what do you want?
Sorry, I have to grab your keys.
Why do you need to grab my keys?
I have to go pick up something for Dad, and your car is the only one.
What about like the other 5 cars in our driveway?
Mom is gone, and I don't want to drive the truck, and the van does not work.
I thought they got it fixed.
No. Take your car. Thank you.
You've interrupted this podcast, this honorable, sacred time.
To be featured in it now.
Your whole part's getting cut out.
Why?
Now go. Disrespectful. Anyway, what I was saying was, I'm recording this a lot earlier than usual because we're going on a vacation. And despite all the times that my mom's like, you can't even go to the gas station, you can't go to the grocery store. If you go through the drive-thru, you have to wash your hands 12 times. You can't turn on the radio. You can't pet the dog. You can't make toast just because of Corona. Despite all that my mom said, she's like, let's go to the lake and like travel. And we're leaving on Thursday. And so I have to shift everything back one day. And so I'm just going to basically set this podcast to go up at the normal time, but it's going to be like on a schedule. So you're still going to get it the normal time. Anyway, this is a lot earlier because, and the place we're going to, it's like some lake. I don't know where it is. It's like in Tompkinsville. I don't know. It's somewhere like that. Some like Sticks City where like Dollar General is the mall. Like one of those, small towns. It's like if there's cell service, it's a miracle. Like population 20. We're going to go there because apparently like the explanation I was given was we're going there because the lake is really clear. And it's like, well, we're not drinking out of the water. Like, why is that the factor in, where you go? It's like, we're going to go here because the water is really clear. It's like, if you're like, we're going to go to this mountain range to hike because the trees have fewer leaves than other trees. That might have been the worst analogy in the human history. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's just why this podcast is being recorded earlier than usual. Oh, that tea is awful. I'm drinking green tea and I'll tell you why. Actually, you know what? I can say who they are. It's the same girl who last week interrupted this very podcast to be like, I'm dyeing my hair black. That same person, I told her, I was like, I'm trying to lose weight, and I am, because I need to slim down a little bit, like I really do. And I'm successful. I've already lost 7 pounds. I'm gonna try and lose a little bit more. So I'm like, I'm trying to lose weight. And she goes, well, a good way is, drinking green tea, boost your metabolism so you process food better. I'm like, oh, okay. So I started drinking green tea. And like, it's working as far as I can tell. But this green tea tastes so bad. Like, there's a picture of a panda on it. It tastes like drinking grassy water. I mean, for all I know, it probably is grass in the water. But, it's awful. I will say this, though. I have a green tea story. I used to want to do this as like a stand-up bit, but, it doesn't really have enough, potential. But I'm going to tell it here. So during fall break of 2019, because the thing about like breaks because I'm in high school, the thing about breaks in high school versus college is like Christmas break in high school, like first thing, it's like 7 days. And I don't mean like including, it's like 7 days including, weekends. It's shorter every year. There was literally outrage this year because they literally shortened it to a week and like 3 days. Who's calling me? I don't know. I'm being called. Hold on. All right, I'm back. You want to know what that was? The fuse box to the kitchen went out. And listen, believe me, I was scared. Thought I was going to get electrocuted. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, green tea story. So fall break 2019. So here's what happens. We have like a whole like big chunk of our family because here's how a family tree works. You go back and it's like the two on my dad's side, there's our Mimi and Papa, and they had 6 kids. And then one of them decided to have another 6 kids. And so that's an entire chunk of the family. So, and they all live like in the same place. They all live in like it's called Joliet, Illinois. And the thing about that is you can, like, if you live within like 2 hours of Chicago, apparently you just have the right to say you live in Chicago, even though that's just ridiculous. Like, it's like an hour and something away from Chicago. Like, oh, well, it's practically Chicago. Anyway, we go up there and, it's for fall break. We're having a good time. But then, like, it's a Sunday. And the way they do it there is, like, one of my cousins, the heads of the household there in Joliet, he's the preacher at the church. He preaches, and they only have a service in the morning. So we get back and they have a big lunch and like a big dinner. And like they all hang out in one big giant house because, the aunt and uncle are like who is like the brother of my dad, the sister of my dad. They have like this giant spread, like everyone gets together and it's like this big family gathering. Like every week they do it. I was like, oh, that's nice enough. And so it's like noon. And we go on, and it's like on TNT or like TBS or something. Or no, it's on the Paramount network. It's on the Paramount channel. And so what they have is they have Batman Begins, then The Dark Knight. And if you know, those movies are both long. So like those two movies alone on TV with commercials is like 6-7 hours long. But that's probably more like 5 hours. In Batman Begins, we start when Batman like calls all the bats to where the Scarecrow is. And then he has like the chase in the car like over the rooftops. That's where we start. And then we get to The Dark Knight, and we get to the I think it was we got to the scene where where the Joker's being interrogated by Batman. And so I'm like, okay. And then like we all have dinner. And so that's a big, happy family gathering. Everyone's like smiling and wishing they didn't have to be there. So in my mind, like I love all three of the Batman trilogy movies. So in my mind, after they show Dark Knight, they're going to show The Dark Knight Rises. We finish dinner, and so we go back into the living room to turn on the TV, and like no one had changed the channel. We even look at the same channel. They didn't show The Dark Knight Rises after Batman Begins, and then The Dark Knight directly after that they start playing Beetlejuice. Don't ask me how that follows. So, but then that was the first time I ever saw the movie Beetlejuice. By the way, it's not my favorite. It's fine. I mean, like people who are like, oh, I love it. It's like, hey, let's calm down. I sit down to watch it, and then I go in there, and I'm about to, because they have like a really nice, coffee machine. So I'm like wondering, do they have any decaf? And so I go into the kitchen. By now it's about 8 at night. So I'm like gonna have decaf and wine down. I'm like, do you have decaf? And they're like, no, we don't have decaf, but we have, green tea. Do you want some? I'm like, okay. So like my Aunt Nancy, she goes in this box. Like she retrieves a box out of like the top cupboard, which when you're like a grandma and like you have kids everywhere, the only reason you put something in the top is if you don't want the kids to get to it. So she reaches in the top cabinet, pulls out this like wooden box. It looks like the box that like that the Mogwai comes in Gremlins. And she opens it up, and there's like all these bags of tea. And she starts telling me this story about it was Uncle Joe, who was her husband, went to China and like did something, like this was like many years ago. And like he made some sort of like, he got in good with someone. Don't ask me who. But like he got in good with someone, and so he has like an agreement that like every so often he like his friend from China just sends him organic homegrown tea in the mail to America. So she pulls it out, and first thing, it's not like in the tea bags. That's how organic it is. It's not in the tea bags. You literally mix it and then like put it through like a filter or something. So I mix it. I'm like, oh, thanks. Then I follow the instructions to a T. I sit down to watch the rest of Beetlejuice with this organic green tea. My first sip, it doesn't taste like anything. I literally cannot taste a single thing to save my life. There's nothing in there. I'm sorry. Like, as I want so badly to taste some of the green tea, but it just tastes like hot water, man. It really does. I didn't even get hints of it. I'm sorry. Anyway. That was a long story. I might have to, trim that down a little bit. Oh, another thing that this is a story I need to tell you, because this is arguably better than that. Well, it's definitely better than that story. When was it? Let me see. Okay. Last Wednesday, the 27th of May. It was one of my closest friends' birthday. Like, they're actually a pair of twins. And I've known them since like preschool. We were like, they're both like the oldest friends I know and still have. So they're twins, and so I hung out with one of them on Wednesday and one on Thursday. Wednesday was their actual birthday, but schedules didn't line up. So the dude on Wednesday, his name's Elijah. So our thing, like as like me and him, is we always go to WingStop and hang out. Like we'll eat there, but obviously like now you can't, go into WingStop. You have to order, like sit in your car and eat. And so, like I said, my mom's like, oh, you can't, buy butter from the grocery store because, I don't want you to get COVID. And it's like, come on, dude. Anyway, so she's real protective. It's like, you have to wear masks, you have to bring wipes, you have to hand sanitize, you have to put hand sanitizer on the concrete, you have to do all this stuff. And so here's what I do. We work out an agreement. I'm like, all right, I'm going to follow all that. And I did. I did all that. I even social distanced while we were eating. And what happens is, so I go to WingStop with Elijah. And so we pull up. And so my thought was, what we had planned before was we were gonna park our cars near to each other and basically roll the windows down and talk to each other through the open windows, and eat our food there. And that was fine. He had no problem with that. My mom had no problem with it. But then I get there. First thing, he already has his food because I'm late by 5 minutes. I go in to get my food. I get out, and what he has is lawn chairs, camping chairs, with the little hoods over them. So he falls in, oh, this is a good idea. So we sit down. We even social distance. That's how committed I was. Not making my mom have a conniption for no reason. That's how dedicated I was. And so I get the mango habanero wings, which is my favorite flavor of all times, but it's real spicy. So I have 2 bottles of water. I brought them knowing that I was going to have spicy wings and I needed some water to go with it. So I drink the 2 bottles of water. We finish everything. And then, like you do if you drink after 2 bottles of water, you have to go to the bathroom. And you can't go to the bathroom in WingStop, unless you work there or you're going to get your order. You can't just waltz in and be like, hey, can I use your restroom? Because they're going to kick you out and be like, you're stupid. No. So I'm like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. He's like, oh, okay, hop in. I'll take you to Huck's. I'm like, I'm not going to take 2 cars so we can go to Huck's, which is 500 feet away. You could walk there and it would take 5 minutes to walk there. But I'm not going to take 2 cars. That's ridiculous. So I hop in his car real quick and I go there and then I go to the bathroom. We get out. That's all we do. And I get back in his car, we pull in, and we have this app, which I don't recommend because it's probably spying on you, even more than the person who you connect with. It's called Life 360, and it's basically, parents want to track their kids or vice versa to know where they are. It's fine if that's what you use it for, but there's no way that isn't being used to send to corporations or whatever. So my mom gets an alert and is like, excuse me, and she calls me and she's like, excuse me, why are you at Huck's? Why are you in the gas station? And starts having a total freak out. You would think that I literally shot someone and was on the news, my mugshot was on WPSD. What's going on? I thought you said blah, 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 blah. And she goes on this nonsensical rant. I'm like, Mom, I had to go to the bathroom, and there was a gas station. You can't go into WingStop, and there's a gas station there. I'm like, oh, okay. But she's not having it. She's like, we'll talk about this when you get home. And she's like, we'll talk about your punishment. I'm like, it's ridiculous that you're going to punish someone for going into the restroom when they have to. What are you supposed to do? Just stand up, unzip your pants, and start peeing in the parking lot? No. And you can't go in, so you go where you can. And that's the gas station. It's literally the only option that you have. So I get back, and she is furious. She is outraged. And then she starts like talking about it. I was like, if you get corona and dad gets it, then the whole plant shuts down for 2 weeks. And I talked to my dad, and that was apparently not true. And like she starts guilt tripping me. She's like, your grandma lives in this house. What if she gets it? And it's like, listen. And then she guilt trips me also, and it's like, you can't just think about yourself. Yeah, you might not get it, but you can spread it. And it's like, listen. If you look at the stats, 0.3%, which is apparent. Listen, I don't know if that's true. That's what my brother said. For all he plays Call of Duty all day, so I don't know what he knows. But if it's 0.3%, let me tell you what that is. If there's a lineup of 300 people, one of them got it. So those are real slim chances. Slim enough that I'm not gonna risk having a bathroom incident over, that. So she's like, you're going to help build the bunker with no pay. I'm like, you weren't paying me anyways. So that was a lighter punishment. But dude, whenever my mom freaks out, not only is it the funniest thing when she freaks out, but it's funny because it's usually with my dad, and my dad just sits there and he just closes his eyes, puts his head down and just shakes his head like, I think it's ridiculous too. And that's my favorite. There was a time when my dad was telling us, he's like, I think it's, ridiculous that we have to follow all these guidelines. And I think that, it's not that big of a deal. And as he's talking about this, I look over to my mom, and she has the face that someone just insulted her family lineage. She is fuming. And the funniest part is, I interrupt my dad and was like, Dad, I don't think, to take a jab at Mom. And he goes, Dad, I don't think Mom agrees with you. And so Dad stops talking, looks over to Mom. Then all of a sudden, she just puts her shoulders up straight, and he's like, oh, no, I don't have a problem. You can keep talking. Anyway. That was a long... People complain that these get long about one topic. I'll talk about one topic for a long period of time. I try to be better about that. But anyway, moving on to the next topic. It's almost time to, wrap this up. It's almost 30 minutes. There's one more thing I want to share with you. The other day, I don't know how it got brought up. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I guess I watched a movie where something similar happened, or I watched a TV show or a video where something similar happened. But I remembered back in the day, there was a show on Disney Channel called Good Luck Charlie. It was basically this big giant family and this girl. The character's name is Bridget. It's something. Or maybe the actor's name is Bridget. I think the actress's name is Bridget. And it's the show, and it's she wants to she just had a new baby sister, and she wants to, have, video diaries every day about life advice for when she gets older, the baby gets older, looks at him and say, oh, this is nice and everything. Which, by the way, is totally ruined because within the show they have another baby, and then she doesn't do anything with that. So it's kind of ridiculous at the end. But there's this one episode where they go to Hawaii or something. They've got 6 kids. They go to Hawaii or some tropical island. The mom and the dad get couples massages, and it's fine, but the oil that they use has an allergic reaction on the mom. So she breaks out in hives. But then what they realize is whenever you go on vacation, you have to go to one of those timeshare things. And so the mom can't go. So the dad's like in his like 60 or something. Like the mom's like 55 or like they're like old enough where like the oldest kid is like 20. So the dad, this was played for comedy, but looking at it, it's like really weird and kind of creepy. The mom can't go because she has an allergic reaction. She has to stay home. And the dad's like 60, and he goes to like the main character and like the girl who's like 18 or like 19. And the dad goes up to his own like 20-year-old daughter and goes, honey, I need you to do me a quick favor. And she's like, okay, what is it? And the dad goes, we're going to go to a timeshare, but your mom can't go, and she's the one who's supposed to go. And it's supposed to be the husband and wife go to the timeshare. She can't go. Can you act like you're my wife? The dude's like 60 years old, and he's like, can this 20-year-old chick pretend to be my wife? And so she's like, what the heck? No. And so at first she refused, and obviously for comedy on the Disney Channel, she has to go. It's like, oh, and like it's played for laughs. But they go, and like the whole time, it's like, hi, welcome Bob Duncan, or what, I don't know if that's his name. Actually, I think it is. It's like, welcome Bob. Is this your wife? He goes, yeah, honey, come in. She walks to the door, and it's like this 20-year-old chick, and they go, oh, your wife? Interesting. And like, I'm sure they meant it for laughs and comedy, but looking back, it's one of the creepiest things I've seen on the Disney Channel. That and like that Disney XD show was like the dude wants a brother and he gets like this purple puppet. I don't remember anything, but I just remember that was real weird. Anyway, I've talked for long enough. It's actually almost 35 minutes. It's probably going to get cut down to 30 minutes anyway. Thank you so much for listening to episode 3 of The Sound of Sergey. I hope you guys enjoy this and be on the lookout for episode 4. Follow me on Instagram and, Twitter. No, I don't have a Twitter. Thank you so much for listening to The Sound of Sergey. And I'll see you next week. And I'm going to go eat some bacon.